Hey, welcome to the wilderness on the internet. I'm the Hunter Wild, a full-time partner broadcaster with Twitch TV. I've got a community-oriented variety cast over at twitch.tv/thehunterwild, also on Twitter at thehunterwildtv. If you want to click on maybe this, boop, head over there, hit the follow button. If you don't have an account, you can make one with ease. I'd love to get to know you. I'd love to see you over there sometime when we are live, jamming out 6 days a week. This is a new series that we are doing on how to stream on Twitch. Now, you may have heard that claim on some other videos, and they are probably right. But this series is going to be a little different. We're going to be focusing a lot less on the technical details, the hardware, the software, how to connect, the settings that you need, things of that nature, and a lot more on the more human side of things, like how to manage your stress, how to actively engage and develop your community, how to talk on stream in such a way that you are always really interesting and flowing, how to respond to a raid, how to host a healthy raid, how to maximize your security, work with a schedule, things of that nature. That's the kind of stuff that we're going to be focusing on in this series. However, the first couple of videos, such as this one, we are going to be looking at some of those more technical details. Today, we'll be covering CPU in a vague, roundabout sort of way, your camera, which I give a specific recommendation to, for. Same thing with the microphone, all in a way that is oriented towards saving you money, getting you the best possible broadcast to give you the best possible advantage when you're starting up, or to get you leaps and bounds over your competition. So when it comes to your processor, your CPU, that is the workhorse of your PC when it comes to streaming. Whenever you stream, whether you are playing a game or not, the CPU is what is doing all of the encoding of that video material that then gets sent out across the internet so that everybody gets to watch your badass content and your gorgeous self. And when you are streaming with a game as well, you've got you're doing some double duty on that CPU. Now, you don't have to have a top of the line processor. You really don't. I still don't. And I have I've got a different setup. I've got a 2 PC setup that is completely unnecessary, but something that you might want to move into in the future, such that you have one PC that just focuses on getting the stream out there, in this case getting the video recorded, and another PC that just focuses on working with the game. That is pretty advanced, that is costly, that is expensive, and utterly unnecessary. I've only recently gotten into a 2 PC setup, all the way up through the first few months of partnership. I was rocking with one PC. Now, I did do a CPU upgrade at some point in there, but I still didn't even get a top-of-the-line CPU. You don't have to spend $1 billion. In fact, you probably don't have to spend any money at all. If you have a remotely contemporary PC that isn't something that is like kind of off-the-shelf $600 Dell, you're probably good to go. You're probably good to go. All you really have to do is experiment with running a game and adjusting some of the settings on your preferred broadcasting software. In my case, it's OBS, Open Broadcaster Software, which you can find at obsproject.com. XSplit is one alternative, but we will be going over all of that in the next video. And that's where you're going to want to go to for the information on how to tweak some of your settings to try and get the optimal performance while using the least amount of CPU, so that you don't have to spend any money on that particular item. Now, when it comes to spending money on streaming, when I started streaming, the recommendation was don't spend a dime. Now, I didn't follow that advice because I decided to take an entirely different route, which is not a recommended route, and most people cannot make it work. So I do not recommend doing what I did. Here is what I would suggest. Instead of spending nothing now, what most streamers would say, and I'm in agreement, is that you want to spend around $200. That is your entry-level fee. That is what it is going to take to get you out of the gate and above the competition when you are starting. For me, the target point is probably somewhere around $140. Now that assumes that you do have an acceptable PC, which again, you don't have to have a top of the line anything. It assumes you have an acceptable PC and you already have an internet connection. We're going to talk about the numbers that you want to hit with your upload speed a little bit later. But $140 is what you should be shooting for as your entry level, and that starts with your webcam. Right here we have my go-to, the one that I'm using right now, this bad boy. Logitech HT Pro Webcam C920. It does 1080p by default. It's really easy to set up. It's plug and play. The same thing with the microphone that we're going to recommend here. The C920, well, that's an advanced feature. The C920 is a real clean, easy to use, no fuss, plug and play webcam. That's super high quality for not a lot of money. $65.50 is really easy. It's really affordable. I know not everybody can swing $65.50 out of the gate, but this is what you are going to need if you want to take the lead when you are starting to stream, or when you want to take that next step, when you want to improve it. What I would recommend, in addition to the Logitech C920, there are other cameras down the line. If you want to save yourself some money, there are cameras that are less expensive than this one. They're obviously not as high quality, but maybe you don't need that when you're starting out. Maybe you want to save an extra $20, spend the $65.50 further on down the line. Hopefully it's the same price. It probably will be when you're ready to bring a higher quality stream to bear. A lot of other people use I think a C650 maybe. There's some other webcams that you can use that are less expensive, that don't have the quality that maybe you don't need. But if you are going for this one, in fact, if you're going for any webcam, here's what I recommend. And I'm so glad that they added this photo in here too. Of course, they're just trying to sell another product, but this is important. The tripod. This not only stabilizes the webcam, which is really important. It stabilizes the webcam with the three legs, prevents it from toppling over if you're gonna be hitting it, tapping it, whatever it happens to be. But it also has the rubberized feet. The rubberized feet. You are gonna be gyrating. You're gonna be bumping into the table. You're gonna be doing a bunch of shit that is gonna be knocking that webcam around. Guarantee it. No matter how calm you usually are as a gamer, at some point you're going to be hitting the table, you're going to be leaning up against it, you're going to be tapping it with your chair, whatever it happens to be. And the rubberized feet that you can see down here, those are going to really stabilize and absorb a lot of those shocks. That is a vital component to keeping your webcam looking clean and nice and tasty. Earlier on, I did not use a tripod. I just had my webcam set up on a stack of books, and it was vibrating constantly. And it was most notable when I would go back into the full screen, because you can see that shit so much more easily. That was me like grabbing the tripod and shaking it around. It is very difficult to see any of the vibrations now that I've got a really good tripod. This is not a fantastic tripod, but this one will totally work for a few extra bucks. You're probably looking at $10, $15 extra to throw in there. So that's going to be $65, $50, maybe getting up to $80, including the tripod. It's a great webcam, highly recommended. So do a lot of other people. This is at least a brilliant starter camera. Next up, we have the Samson Meteor for the microphone. I love this microphone. This is the best starter microphone you could possibly have. Now, a lot of people leapfrog this one and go to the kind of microphone that I've got, an AT2020 or better. Now, that is double the price and then some that you do not have to spend. The difference between an AT2020 and the Samson Meteor is marginal for double the price. So this is the microphone that I started out with. It's USB again. Easy, quick plug and play. You can literally plug it in. The drivers will download instantly, and you can get it going with a relatively clean and crisp sound right out of the gate, with no real fuss, no real messing with anything. This mic, the Samson Meteor, is the microphone that I used for the first 4 to 5 months of my cast, right up until the point that I got partnership. It is a brilliant mic. It is so inexpensive at $61.69, and you can see some of the features here that are beautiful. Now you might not understand how beautiful they are just yet until you switch away from this mic at some point in the future when you maybe want an upgrade. Notably, the headphone volume, if you have that plugged in, the tripod that is built into the microphone with the rubberized feet to absorb some shock, again, like we were talking about with the camera, with the webcam, absorb some of the shock from the table. If you're going to be bumping into it, you don't want that running into the mic. It's got shock absorption on the built-in tripod, the built-in stand, which is great by itself too, because you can sit it right in front of your goddamn face and people can barely even see it with the webcam. It's sitting right there, totally invisible. You don't have to have an entire shock mount with a boom stand. You know what I mean? That's all built in to this price. What's more, you've got the mic mute button right on the microphone. My fancy AT 2020 does not have that. Does not have that at all. I was actually disappointed moving away from the Samson Meteor to a twice the price microphone. That gives me some cleaner audio. But when I mute now, I can't just do it on the physical mic. I have to go into software to mute it. Now I can hotkey it and I can do a bunch of other stuff to make it a little easier. But I loved that feature on this microphone. I still have this mic as a backup mic. I still have it. If this mic fails, I'm just going to go plug and play with this bad boy. Now I have the black one, which I really like. I really recommend that one. It's beautiful. You've also got the this is a new one, the brushed nickel. If you want to not have your fingerprints and shine and glisten and gleam all over your microphone. Now, when it comes to a USB microphone, plug and play is great. You got it locked in. You plug it in, the drivers download, you start going, and with a microphone such as the Samson Meteor, you've got some clean audio right out of the gate. You might want to take that a step further. In fact, I recommend it. Most people would. And how would you do that? That is with a virtual audio mixer. If you're going to be using a USB microphone like the Samson Meteor. A virtual audio mixer is a mixer that resides on your PC. It's a program, and I'm sure that you're familiar with the basics of how that would work. It takes in your audio information, it takes in whatever's coming in from the microphone, and it processes it in some way to tweak that sound, hopefully towards something better. I used Adobe Audition. There are some free solutions out there. I paid for mine, a monthly subscription. I already had Adobe Cloud because I've been an artist for the last 5 to 6 years, and I needed Adobe Cloud to get some other programs to help tweak and adjust and modify the photos I was taking of my artwork. Along with that, along with Photoshop and Illustrator and a bunch of other brilliant programs, you've got Adobe Audition. That comes with that same subscription fee. You just download it, you set it up, and you start running out. You start rolling with it. If you are going to go with Adobe Audition, I recommend looking up Synapse, P-S-Y-N-A-P-S. He has all of the settings. He has a whole video guide, and he has all the settings that you can already download to begin with clean audio. Now, it can be a little frustrating because if you're anything like me, I have no idea what's going on with audio. When it comes to the basics, my first time setting it up, I got frustrated. I had no idea what's going on. That's just the nature of the beast. You got a lot of shit going on there. If you're gonna go beyond the plug and play method, and you're gonna go with something like Adobe Audition, you're gonna get a lot more bang for your buck. You're going to get a lot cleaner audio. That sounds amazing. In fact, within the first month of streaming, I had people coming in who said they were sticking around for the voice because of how clean the audio sounded, and a lot of that was the Samson Meteor and Adobe Audition in conjunction. Like I said, there are free solutions out there. You can go check them out. I'm sure that there are a lot of other videos out there explaining how to decide on what you want to roll with and then how to set those up. Recommend checking them out. Go out there, go find it. My recommendation is the Samson Meteor with Adobe Audition. There may be a problem that arises using a virtual audio mixer such as Adobe Audition, though not exclusively Adobe Audition, any virtual audio mixer, and open broadcaster software, which is what I and many, if not most other broadcasters use. Total Biscuit was the one who clued me into this after I was having this problem for many months, but only every once in a while. It's not a huge deal, but when it comes up, you might get a little annoyed if it does happen to you. It probably won't. It's very uncommon, if not rare, but it does happen to some people, and I was one of those. The problem is that you get a robotic voice and crackling on the microphone when you are performing certain tasks on your PC. Now, a lot of people suggested that it was related to the CPU, that the CPU was getting overburdened. It turns out that's not the case. It does look like it is a bug with OBS, and there is no known solution as far as I have investigated, and as far as Total Biscuit, of all people, has investigated, no known solution. What you can do to overcome that, to compensate for it, is just turn off the virtual audio mixer, which is not a problem if you have a microphone that's as decent quality right out of the gate for as little money as the Samson Meteor mic. All you do is turn off the program and just get the unfiltered microphone audio, which might not be as good as, presumably it's not as good as when it's filtered, processed through the virtual audio mixer. But that is one solution that will still give you good audio without having to go and spend a lot more money on an XLR microphone, or thinking that it's your mic itself, and you're trying to replace it, and you're spending money trying to get something else in there. Whatever it happens to be, the solution that you might want to attempt, the easiest thing that you can do is just turn off that virtual audio mixer and see if the problem persists. If it does, you might have other issues. If it doesn't, that's the one. Last but not least is your connection, your internet speed. Notably, your upload speed. That is the most important factor when it comes to your connection and streaming. Now, if you're playing a multiplayer game online, you're going to need some download speed too. If you're connecting elsewhere, if you're streaming some music into your PC, obviously you're going to need some download speed. But when it comes to streaming, upload is king. Now, Twitch recommends that you have a minimum upload of 5 Mbps. That is a good minimum upload. However, it's not really the one the absolute bare minimum. It's not really the one that you need to hit at the bottom end. Truly, the lowest that you could go and still be able to stream, technically, is 1 Mbps. Now, this does require an accurate reading on what your speed is, because your ISP may lie to you about what you're actively getting. Now, if you're using a flash-based internet speed tester, you may be getting some false results as well. So we have one main recommendation for where to go to get a reliable speed test, and that is testmy.net. Fast, accurate, reliable, compatible, versatile, making all of your dreams come true. This place, testmy.net, it's not as flashy, it's not, well, I mean, literally and figuratively, in terms of the program. It's not as flashy as a lot of the others, but it truly gets the job done, and it gets it done well and accurately. This is where you want to go, click on Upload Test, and roll out with it to get an accurate picture of what your upload speed really is. Now, you also want to be doing this many times throughout the day, presumably multiple days in a row, especially when it comes to whatever your prime time is going to be for streaming. You want to get a good picture of what your speed is going to be on average. Now, write it down, average it out, see where you're getting some real low peaks that maybe dip below your comfortable minimum. 1 Mbps is the bare minimum that you should be shooting for, with 5 as the real target. 5 Mbps or higher as the real target. With 1, you really have to go in and tweak a lot of your settings in your broadcast software. We're going to be talking about that a little bit in the next video, how to compensate for that a hair. But there's a good reason why Twitch recommends 5 Mbps as the minimum upload, and that is to be able to roll with the punches, because there is a natural fluctuation in your connection. It will go up, it will go down, and when it goes down, I mean down as in lower, not like down. When it goes down, you want to be able to make sure that you still have enough bandwidth to continue to push that content through, to push your stream through to the viewers without losing fidelity without losing the quality. And 5 is a good target for that, because with 5 you can have decent settings on OBS, on XSplit, to have a decent quality stream that can still get pushed through without dropping frames, without dropping the quality, even when you drop down from 5 to, say, 4 or 3. Now, that's all going to be based on your settings, but that's why you want to shoot for 5. At 1, you're really going to have to tone those settings down. You're really going to have to tweak the quality way back to be able to account for some of those fluctuations. But 1, you can do it. You can do it at 1 Mbps. In the upcoming videos in this series, we're going to be tackling a lot of subjects, like how to be yourself with some changes, how to bring gimmicks into the stream, maybe some extra qualities of your personality persona that can be a little more entertaining and engaging, how to constantly talk on stream to engage viewers, as well as what types of streams there are, what kinds of games that you can play to promote growth, various bots that you can use, and a lot more than all of that. Everything that you need to know to start the stream, to take it to the next level, to create the best possible content, and forge a brand that will take you into the future of streaming. But in the next video, we're going to be covering just a few of the most important settings in OBS that will help you to fine-tune your stream to maximize quality while minimizing CPU and bandwidth usage to give you the most control over your stream and the quality of your content to bring the most viewers to the yard. If you liked what you've seen here, show us by hitting that like button down below. If you want to come back and check out what we've got in when we roll out some future content, hit that subscribe button. You will know when it goes live so that you can be the first to apply this information to how you stream to get a leg up on the competition. This is the Hunter Wild, and you've been jamming out with me in the wilderness tonight. I hope that this has been incredibly informative. Come by the live stream at twitch.tv/thehunterwild. I'd love to get to know you. I'd love to see you. There's probably a link right around here again. Mwah. Click on that thing, go over and follow. If you don't have an account, make one. It's super easy. Follow me at Twitter at the Hunter Wild TV. I cannot wait to jam out with you guys again.